Welcome to the road to 1 million US dollars. Let's get right into the Bitcoin chart for today, because right now we are seeing a massive bump to the upside after we held this low of the descending channel as a level of support. And this is exactly what I was talking about over the last couple days here, guys. Even when we were trading below 50,000 US dollars, I was literally saying, guys, wait for an actual confirmation of a breakdown. So waiting to see confirmed candle closes below until you actually start panicking here, right? Because until then, we can simply hold this as a level of support, as I said, every single day over the last couple of days. So of course, you know that I was dollar cost averaging on my way down, buying most of it at the exact bottom of the range here. So no, I did not manage to snipe these lows, but I bought the bottom of the range at 53,000 US dollars. Now for full transparency here, guys, I sold some Bitcoin earlier today at 58,000 US dollars, 57.9 to be exact. And I took half of my position that I acquired at the lows here, and I simply dumped it all on the market once again. Now, of course, this price could run all the way back to the upside. In fact, this time it could actually break out and go to much higher price levels. Yes, it is possible, because so long as we are inside the range, we can go to the bottom and we can go to the top of the range, of course, as I have been saying for months at this point. However, in this case, because we saw this massive move to the downside, I wanted to manage my risk a little bit. And this mindset of taking profits early and managing my risk is exactly how I was able to profit an insane amount of money from this consolidation here. Because I bought this low here, then I dumped 90% at the top here, then I bought back in at these lows once again, I dumped 90% at the top here once again, and now I bought back in. And in this case, I don't know if we are actually going back to the top of the range and actually breaking out sometime soon, or if we first need to see more downside. And therefore, I just wanted to manage my risk. And if we actually go to the top of the range once again, I will take a look at that time, as I did in the two previous times, to see if we are actually breaking out or facing another rejection back down. And of course, if I do think we are getting rejected, then I will just dump the whole stack once again. So this is how I have been playing this market here over the last couple months. And I literally documented all of this on my channel, because I upload every single day telling you guys what I am doing. But this has only been my spot trading strategy and not my leverage trading strategy, because I don't have the balls to open up a massive leverage long position and hold it for this long. I really prefer trading on the much lower time frames when I am trading with high leverage. So if you are a short-term trader as well and you want to get access to my real-time analysis of the markets, then I recommend joining the Road to 1 Million Discord community with the first link in the video description. And once you're in here, you can simply go to this Trading Signals Access channel and read these 3 steps right here, because by following these 3 steps right here, you will get access to my trading signals completely for free. For example, this was a trade I made earlier here, about 150% profit on that trade. And there are a bunch of people in this signals group already who are making insane profits every single day. Everything I just showed you was still from yesterday. So again, guys, come check this out, and I will see you in the Discord community. Moving on with the Bitcoin analysis though, taking a look at the support and resistance levels for Bitcoin. Right here, you can see that we broke through this 0.382 Fibonacci level sitting at 57K, and potentially we could run into this 0.5 level sitting at 59.5K. So watch out for this level as a potential level of resistance. So if you see the price reaching this level, pay attention to what the price action is doing, because we can get a rejection from here. But besides that, if we actually break through this level with confirmed candle closes, then the next Fibonacci resistance here is going to be the Fibonacci golden pocket, which is between the 0.65 level and the 0.618. So between about 62,000 US dollars all the way up to 62.7K. And typically the Fibonacci golden pocket will act as a strong level of resistance. So make sure to pay attention to the price action once again, But of course, before you start looking at this, you really should be paying attention to this Fibonacci level first. Now, besides that, taking a look at the 4-hour time frame for the support and resistance levels as well, you can see that right now we are breaking out above this level of resistance, sitting from 56 all the way up to 58,000 US dollars. Now, you may be wondering, hey, why is the price above and this is still marked as a level of resistance? Well, this is because right now the price is above, but we haven't seen this confirmed candle close on the 4-hour time frame. Besides that, we also have this descending line of resistance that you should be paying attention to, because again, you can see a rejection from that level. As of the time of recording, it is sitting at about 59,000 US dollars. Now, let's say that we actually see a rejection back down, or at some point we just fall back into this level, and then we get a bounce from there. That is exactly the moment when I will be flipping this into a level of support. But until that actually happens, we can fall straight through this level once again because we haven't tested it as a level of support yet. Now, in terms of some more resistance to the upside, we have this big level right here from 60,000 all the way up to 62.4K. So this is again a level where you should be watching out for the Bitcoin price. Now, why am I talking about this level to the upside here? Well, you may remember that I was talking about this CME gap at 62.8K. And I was even talking about this when we were trading down here. I was saying it in my videos, and very few people at the time when we were trading down here were taking this seriously. In fact, they were actually selling all their crypto at the exact lows right here. But that is besides the point. In the case that you don't know, over 90% of CME gaps tend to get filled, meaning that it is likely that the Bitcoin price will trade somewhat close to the CME gap, or actually fully fill the CME gap in order to again fill the CME gap. So this is potentially something you could be looking out for in the charts. But in my personal opinion, so long as we are below this descending line of resistance, technically we are still in a downtrend. And besides that, even if we come up all the way to this level here at 62K, for example, and then get a move back down, we are still technically in a downtrend, simply making lower lows and lower highs. So pay attention to that. I don't think we are out of the woods yet, even if we actually get up to that level. And that is exactly why I took profits at 58K or so, because as a trader, I prefer taking low risk and managing my risk properly. So that is why I did that, even though it has the potential to pump higher, of course. But in my trades, I'm not in the business of trying to time the exact high or exact low. I'm just trying to make profitable trades and be on the right side of the trend. And that is my main focus. Either way, if we take a look at the 3-day time frame for the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, we just took out a big level of liquidity right here at 58K. And it seems that we are grabbing more liquidity to the upside here, although there is quite a bit of liquidity to the downside, as low as 54,000 US dollars for the Bitcoin price. So pay attention to this, because we are still quite close to this level. It is still possible that we just come down to grab this really quick, although of course it is not guaranteed. It is simply the case that typically the Bitcoin price gets attracted to where there are big pockets of liquidity, so it is just something to watch out for. But of course, if the technical analysis in the charts is not giving you this indication that we are going lower, then it is just a data point that you should keep in mind. Now, if we zoom out a little bit to the 1-week time frame, then you can see that in fact most of the liquidity is actually to the upside, even though again we just took out a massive level of liquidity right here. So we have liquidity right here at exactly $60,000, 61.5K roughly speaking, and even liquidity as high as 65.8K. So again, these are important levels of liquidity to pay attention to. And as I mentioned on the lower time frame as well, you also have liquidity at about 54K. So those are the Bitcoin liquidation heat map levels. Now, lastly, for the Bitcoin ETF flow tables for today, yesterday, we saw a net inflow of $45 billion, which is relatively small for these Bitcoin ETFs, because typically on average, they buy about $120 million worth of Bitcoin every single weekday. And therefore, this $45 million inflow is relatively small. Although one interesting thing to note is actually that the Bitcoin ETFs have the tendency, from what I have seen so far, and this is not like some science or something, but just something I noticed from watching these inflows every day is that typically you get the biggest outflows at the exact lows and you get the biggest inflows on the exact highs. So what I've seen from these Bitcoin ETF in and outflows so far has not been very impressive in terms of their track record, because it seems to be the case that they're buying high and selling low every single time. But for now, this doesn't really seem to be a trend that is forming. We basically saw some outflows at the lows, and then now potentially the Bitcoin ETF investors are flipping bullish again. So I'm very curious to see what the inflow or outflow is going to be tomorrow. Now, if you want to stay up to date with the crypto market, then make sure to subscribe to my channel with notifications on so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Also, I'm really trying to reach 5,000 subscribers, so if you could help me with that by subscribing, then I really appreciate it, and hopefully I can bring you some value in these videos. Either way, if you do end up subscribing or not, this has been today's market update. Thank you very much for watching once again, and I will see you tomorrow in the next one.